Good evening, everyone. Welcome to today's SFM class. We'll be looking at the topic discounted cash flow. Now, what is time value of money? Okay, when we are talking about time value of money, we are talking of the fact that money of today is not worth the same in the next month. That is, money usually reduces over the value of money usually reduces over time. For example, 10,000 naira of this year, what you can use 10,000 naira to buy this year will not be the same things you'll be able to use that 10,000 naira to buy in the next 5 years. So ultimately, you will prefer for somebody to give you 10,000 naira is owing you now than the person promising you will give you the money next year, because by then the value of that 10,000 naira would have dropped. So that's what we talk about time value of money. Now we're going to look at the impact of time value, and it said that the impact of time value can be estimated using two methods. The first one is compounding. First method is compounding, and compounding does what? It estimates the future cash flow that will arise as a result of investing an amount today. It's telling you how much will you get if you invest a particular amount today based on particular interest rates. And the second one is discounting, that is looking at the present value of a future cash flow at a specified time. Now means if you are expecting a particular amount in the future, what is the present value of that amount now? You are expecting 20,000 naira in the next 2 years. What is the value of that 10,000 naira now, given a particular rate of interest? So having said that, look at the formula of discount factor. The formula is 1 over 1 plus r raised to power n. 1 over 1 plus r raised to power n, where our r is the interest rate and our n is the number of period, that is the years. Now, if you are compounding, I told you compounding is to get the future value of the amount you invest today. So if you have to compound, if you want to get the future value, it will be your amount today times 1 plus r raised to power n. That's how you will get your future cash flow. Now, let's say for example, we want to get the future value of investing 10,000 naira today. So it will be equals to 10,000 times 1 plus, let's take our interest rate to be, let's say 12%. So that will be 0.12, then raised to power n. Let's say we're expecting the value in the next 3 years. So that will give us 10,000 times 1.12 raised to power 3. And if we calculate it, 1.12 raised to power 3 will give us 1.405. So that times 10,000, we get 14,049. That is, if you invest 10,000 naira today and you are expecting a annual interest rate of 12% for the next 3 years, in the next 3 years the amount you will have, your future value will be what? 14,049 naira. Now, but if it's the other way around, we want to get the present value. Of, okay, let me put it this way. Since the last question we got 14,049 naira. Now let's say you are expecting 14,049 naira in the next 3 years with an interest rate of 12%. How much is that 14,000 naira worth today? How much is that 14,000 naira worth today? So how we calculate it now? We'll say our present value is equals to our future value using that 14,049 sorry, we have our 14,049 times 1 all over 1 plus 0.12 raised to power 3. So by the time we calculate that will be 1.12 raised to power 3. We have 1.404. 1 divided by that answer give us 0.7112 times 14,049. You see, our answer we get 9999. What is so that means the present value of 14,000 naira in the future is 10,000 naira now. That is what 10,000 naira we buy now, giving that discount rate of 12%. In the future, it is 14,000 naira that you will use to buy the same thing that 10,000 naira we buy now. So that's what we mean by present value of money. Now let's continue. I said discounted cash flow is a technique for evaluating proposed investments to decide whether they are financially worthwhile. Now you want to invest as a manager in a business. You'll be approached several times concerning investment proposal. So you have to sit down and analyze, will this investment be financially worthwhile or it will just be a waste of money? So this is where these calculations come in place. And there are two ways for you to evaluate that proposed investment. And the first one is our NPV, that's net present value method, and the second one is our internal rate of return, IRR method. So today we will start with the NPV method. This is just an introductory class, so we'll just look at what NPV is all about. Then in future classes we go deeper into each of them. Now look at this question. They said a company with a cost of capital of 10% is considering investing in a project with the following cash flow. Year 0, that is at year 0, year 0 is usually our investment year, and you can see that the 10,000 naira is negative, meaning they are investing 10,000 naira, or sorry, million, because it's raised to power million. So we are investing 10 million naira in this project. Now in the first year we are expecting to get 6 million naira inflow, and in the second year we are expecting to get 8 million naira inflow. Now a layman will just say, oh, 8 million plus 6 million is what? 14 million. So if I invest 10 million naira and I get 14 million naira in 2 years, that's a good investment. Let me take that investment. But it's not done that way, because you have to take into cognizance the time value of money. You have to take into cognizance that 14 million naira may not be worth the 10 million naira you invested as at that year 0. So how do we know if the person should invest in this business or not? We have to discount each figure, each amount. We have to discount each amount, and we'll be given a discounted rate. Like here they told us our cost of capital is 10%. Our cost of capital is our discounting rate. That means the value of money you use 10% to discount the money. I remember our formula. I said our formula is 1 all over 1 plus r raised to power n, which is what was here. This is how we calculate our discounting rate. So we'll come back to the question. All right, now we'll discount the amount. When we discount them, we'll now add and subtract to know if we should take the business or not. Once you get a positive value, you mean you are advised for the investment to be taken. But if you get a negative value, you are advised for the investment not to be taken. So let's look at this question. All right, so this year 0 is 10 million in negative. We do our discount factor for year 0, and I say our formula is 1 all over 1 plus r raised to power n, and we have 1 over 1 plus 0.1. because 0.1 is our discounting rate raised to power 0. And you know that anything raised to power 0 is 1. So we have 1 over 1. And when you have 1 over 1, the answer is equals to 1. That is how they got this discounting factor to be 1. So 10 million naira multiplied by 1 will give you 10 million naira. Remember, it is what? Negative. Now, in our year 1, it will be what? 1 over 1.01 raised to power 1, which is equals to 1 plus 1 over 1.1 raised to power 1. (1.1) raised to power 1. By the time you calculate this, 1.1 raised to power 1 will give us 1.1. So 1 divided by 1.1, we have 0.909. So 0.909, we have our 0.909. So 0.909 times 6,000 naira, we have 5,456 naira. That is 6,000 naira that you will get in the future in year 1 is worth 5,456 naira now. What you will buy with 5,456 naira now is what you use 6,000 naira to buy in 1 year's time. So that's how we've gotten the value. So you do the same thing for year 2. Year 2 is 1 over 1.1 raised to power, this place will change to 2, and by the time you calculate it, your value will change to, so we have 1.1 raised to power 2, then 1 divided by answer, our value will be now equals to 0.826. And by the time we multiply 0.826 times 8,000, we have 6,612. That means 8,000 naira in the future, in the next 2 years, is worth 6,000 naira now. So you understand. So by the time you add it together, you will see that the profit, the net present value, the value you will get is 2,068 naira. I remember when we did it in layman way, we were getting 4,000 naira or 4 million naira gain. But by the time you discount it, you discover that it's not 4 million naira you will actually gain, as at if you are comparing to today's value. You will actually gain 2,068,000 naira. So that's just what this discounting factor is all about. Okay, so let's move on. Now we have a question here. They said a company is considering whether to invest in a new item of equipment costing 53,000 naira. So what is our investment? Our investment is equals to 53,000 naira. Now, they now said the product will have 4 years life and the estimated cash profit for the 4-year period are as follows. In year 1, you are expecting 17,000. In year 2, you are expecting 25,000. In year 3, you are expecting 16,000. And in year 4, you are expecting 12,000. They said calculate the NPV of the project using a discount rate of 11%. Okay, so to do that, we have our year, we have our cash flow, we have our discount factor, and we have our present value. So in year 0, remember year 0 is always your year of investment. How much did we invest? 53,000. So we invested 53,000, which will be in negative. Then your discounting factor, remember we are discounting at 11%. So your discounting factor, I told you in year 0 it is always 1, because anything raised to power 0 is 1. So we have 1, and here will still give us what? 53,000. In year 1, we have 17,000. It's profit. So we discount at 11%. Remember the formula. It will be 1 all over 1 plus 0.11 raised to power 1. By the time you calculate that, we get our value, and our value here is 0.901. 0.901. By the time you multiply it, you have 15,315. Year 2, 25,000. You do your calculation again for your discount factor, but this time it will be raised to power 2, and we are going to get 0.812. By the time you multiply it by 25,000, you get 20,000. You get 291. So having done that, you do that the same thing for year 3, then you add up together and you get your final answer to know whether it is positive or negative. So once you've gotten your final answer, if it is positive, you advise them that the project should be accepted, and if it is negative, you tell them not to accept the project. So the question 2, you can do that on your own in your free time to just get acquainted with what we are talking about here. Now we have 2 methods of preparing NPV. You can either prepare it horizontally or you can prepare it vertically. Either you arrange it horizontally or you arrange it vertically. If you are arranging it horizontally, you have your year, you have your description, you have your cash flow, you have your DCF, that's discounted value, and you have your present value. This is the arrangement if you are arranging it horizontally. Then under your year, you have your year 0, year 1, year 2, year 3. Under your description, you have your initial capital, which is always done at year 0. Year 1, you have your cash flow. Year 2, you have your cash flow. Year 3, you have your cash flow, like so. Then under cash flow column, you write your figures. If this one is, if in year 0 you invested 30,000, you write 30,000. Remember, it's always in negative. Then your cash flow, you have 5,000, you have 3,000, you have 2,000, like that. Then your DCF, when you have discounted it, you write your discounted figures here. If it's 0.9, year 0 will always be 1. So then this one will be 0.909, 0.860, 0.7, and your present value is now this multiplied by this. You get your answer. This is the horizontal method. If you are doing it vertically, you write your year like this, your initial capital, your cash flow, your DCF, your present value. You see, it's just vertical. It's different from the other way. The other way we arrange it straight, lying down, but this one we are arranging it standing up. So our year will now come here on 0, 1, 2, 3. So under initial capital, we write our figure here. And under our cash flow, for year 1 we write it here, for year 2 we write it here, for year 3 we write it here, and so on. Your DCF, the same thing. For year 0 it will be 1, here will be 0.90, like that. Then you get your present value. Okay, so having done that, we'll move straight to the next thing, which is annuity. And what is annuity? Annuity is a constant cash flow of a given number of time periods. That is when you are receiving equal amount for repeatedly for a particular period. For example, you are collecting 20,000 naira each year for 3 years. If you look at the previous example we'll be doing, you can see that the cash flow were different. For this, like for this one now, year 1 was 17,000, year 2 is 25,000, which is different. But annuity is when you are receiving constantly for the period of years. So when you are having steady cash flow like that, yes, another formula you have to use instead of wasting your time calculating DCF for year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4. If you have 7 years, calculating like that is usually stressful. So when you have a single figure, a figure that is repeating itself from year 1 to, let's say, year 7, there's a formula you use. But if your figures, if you don't have repetitive figure, that is year 1 figure is different from year 2, or is different from year 3, is different from year 4, different from year 5, you use the previous method that we used. But once you're having a steady cash flow for a particular period of years, you use annuity formula. And this is our annuity formula right here. This is our annuity formula right here. We have our 1 over r, open bracket, 1 minus 1 over 1 plus r raised to power n. Or you have our method 2. The method 2 is usually simpler. This is the method that most persons use. Now that I remember, our this here formula that was given to us as 1 all over 1 plus r raised to power n. You can also write it as 1 plus r raised to power minus n. You get the same value. Is that you use this method 1, or use this method, this is method 2. Either way, the formula is correct. Whichever one you are comfortable with, you use it. See me, that's what is happening here in annuity factors. Either you use this method 1 or you use this method 2. So whichever it is you find it easy for you to remember, or whichever it is you find it easy for you to calculate, you make use of it. Now we have a question here. The question says a company is considering whether to invest in a project which would involve the purchase of a machinery with a life of 5 years. The machine will cost 556,000 and would have a net disposal value of 56,000 at the end of year 5. The project will earn annual cash inflow of 200,000. They said the cash flow is going to be steady, 200,000, and you receive that 200,000 for what? 5 years. Calculate the NPV. So we have our year, we have our cash flow, we have our DCF, then we have our present value. Our year at year 0, where we invested the money, definitely is going to be negative 556,000. Our DCF is going to be 1. I told you at year 0 it's always 1. Therefore our present value will be what? Still 556,000 naira. Now our cash flow from year 1 to 5 is steady. So instead of us writing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, no, we'll just come here, we just write year 1 to 5. We write the amount, which is what? 200,000. Then we calculate the value, our DCF that we use using this formula. So we are going to write 1 minus open bracket 1 plus our rates. Our discounted rate is 15%, so 0.15 raised to power minus 5 all over 0.15. I'm using method 2 formula. So by the time you punch this formula in your calculator, or you do it in rough work, you will get your value. So let me press it to my calculator here. We have 1 minus open bracket 1 plus 0.15 close the bracket raised to power minus the number of years 5. They will put all over 0.15. The value I have here with me is 3.352. Now by the time we multiply this 3.352 times 200,000, we have 670,431. 670,431. I can't write it, the body is already filled. 670,431. That is our figure. Then don't forget, they told you that the machine will be disposed at the end of year 5 and you will get 56,000. When you sell the machine at the end of year 5, you will get what? 56,000 naira. So that money is coming to you, is an income. So you will see, come back here and write year 5. Sorry, I'm so sorry. We write year 5, then we write our 56,000, which is our cash inflow. Then we will now find the discounting factor of year 5 alone using that first formula I told you, which is 1 all over 1 plus r raised to power n, or 1 plus r raised to power minus n. Whatever it is, whichever one you use, I'll be using the 1 plus 0.15 raised to power minus 5, and I got 0.497 as my discounting factor. By the time you multiply that with 56,000 naira, you are going to have 27,842 naira. You're going to have 27,842 naira. So now I'm going to do a clear page. So we have our PV. From year 0, it was 556,000 negative. The year 1 to 5 was 670,431, while the disposal was 27,842. By the time we sum it up, we are going to have our NPV. So when we sum it up, we have our NPV, which is 142,273, and our value is positive. So you would tell them to what? Accept the project. So we have question 2 here, which I would like you to do at your spare time. And that's all for today's class. In the next class, we'll look at other situations and technicalities that has to do with NPV and also IRR. Have a nice and good night. Thank you very much.